Hello. What is up? This is alertwolf here to bring you another anime review. And this time, I'm going to bring it on Henneko The Hentai and the Stony Cat. Now, I think in the first review I said Stone Cat, because I swear that I thought that's what it was called. But it is the Stony Cat. Now, basically, episode 6, and this one is called My Welcome Friend. Tatsuko finds Yato. Basically, Yato, he's asleep in her spare house, and she finds all his shit there. And he's like, yeah, apparently the Stony Cat put my house here. She goes, everything. He's like, everything's from my house. She goes, oh, all right. And then as she's looking around at his stuff, she notices, she steps on and notices that he has like dirty, like porn DVDs, or I don't know if it's a game or it's straight up porn. And she's like, oh, you like, and they're all like big breast porn. So she takes those scissors, sits on the floor, and just starts scratching up every DVD she could find. And she's like, oh, you like big tits, huh? And he's like, well, that was like a while ago. I mean, my taste is different. And she goes, oh, yeah? What are your tastes now? And he's like, well, not so much the big tits, but it has to be round in the bottom. You know, it has to round out the top. She's like, oh, all right. And so she starts messing up all his DVDs, and that was hilarious. And then, so basically, now we get the idea he's supposed to live there. Now her sister still believes that it's his twin brother that was living there causing the problems, and so she's not going to kill him. And this other chick before that, you know, they're practicing and they're talking, comes up to him and starts saying all this like perverted shit to him, like, oh, leave my captain alone, stop trying to like fucking come all over her, basically. And he's like, what would, I didn't say any of that. She's like, you two can have your perverted conversation after I talk to him. And so I wonder if she inherited something from somebody because of that cat, but who knows. So excuse me. So again, they end up talking, and she's like, oh yeah, you know, the twin brother and blah blah blah, and, you know, what do you think of my sister? He's like, what? She's super cute. Like, she's the cutest girl in the world. If there was any other girl, she'd be so cute. I just think she's super cute. So he goes on about how cute he thinks she is, her sister. And meanwhile, again, I'm not good at pronouncing Tatsuko. Right, I'm not good at pronouncing her name yet. Give me time. She was eavesdropping and heard all this, and then he's like, well, you know, you can't go and kill my twin brother because she is so into him that if you were to kill him, she would never get over him. But we have to break them up. She's like, that's a great idea. Like, haha. And, you know, make her not want him anymore. And him not want her. That's what we should do. So there you go. The fact that she's still believing the lie is hilarious to me. But we end up going back to her house, or their house, and he's trying to figure out how this cat, and the Stony Cat is huge now, works with this. He starts calling it a cat god, and he's trying to figure out if it'll grant wishes. And meanwhile, he gets a call from Azusa, and she's yelling at him because, you know, basically because he hasn't called her. I mean, he did call her the night before, but because he hasn't called her, and she really wanted him to go on this vacation. He's like, what? And she's talking about how nice her bathing suit is, and she bought it just for him, basically. And he's like, you know what? I guess I really would like to see you in your bathing suit. And then the cat used its power, transported her, and put her right on top of his face. So, you know, the crotch was in his mouth. He's like, whoa, you know, what's going on? And then they explain what's going on, and she's like, oh, you're getting really close. You know, because she's jealous of the other one, and he's... Finally, she realized, you know, she gets the idea it's the cat, and she's like, well, if you really can grant wishes, she's like, I would love you to play, and she says it under her breath, like, I'd love him to play with my belly button right now. And then the cat laughs and meows and shit, and then handcuffs appear out of nowhere, and then his eyes get all glossy, and then he handcuffs her and, like, lays her down, and then starts to play with her belly button. And she's like, what are you doing? She's loving it. And then he's about to make out with her, and she's like, no, I take it back. And when she does, she takes back the wish. And then he learns you could take back a wish. So then he says he's going to go tell them that there's one more for dinner. He ends up going to Tatsuyuko, right? I mean, again, I'm going to get better at pronouncing her name. But he goes to her, she's cooking, and she's wearing one of his, like, shirts. It doesn't look like she's wearing pants. And, you know, sometimes girls wearing a guy shirt is so sexy. Let's put it that way. Especially if it's your shirt. And she's wearing the shirt, and she's dancing around and singing a song about how cute he thinks she is, and how much he loves it. And he's like, oh, I guess she was eavesdropping. And then, you know, tries to tell her about, all right, yeah, you know, and then he sees her, and he goes in, and gotta close the door. All right, so he sees her, and then he walks in, he confronts her, you know, he tries to tell her about dinner, and she yells at him a little bit, and she's a little embarrassed that she's caught wearing his shirt, you know, and singing a song about him. And so anyway, they end up having dinner. And the four of them have dinner, and then the sisters attempt to get him away from her, as they discussed, and to break him up, is to hit on him. So she comes out in, like, this kimono, and she's, like, half taking her boobs out, but she's never seduced anybody at it, so she's very awkward. And then the other chick, Azusa, is super jealous, and they end up arguing, and it's all pretty funny, actually. And so after the dinner, Tatsuyuko, again, I'm gonna get better at pronouncing her name. She tells him that basically she thinks the wish is her fault that brought his house to her house, because she was thinking how he lived too far away, and how she would love to have dinner with him, you know, with everybody, and not be in such an empty house and stuff. And she thinks that's what did it, and made his house disappear. And he's thinking there's more to this wish, but as he's laying in bed and relaxing, the sister comes in to try to seduce him. She gets on top of him, and she tries to make him grab her breasts and all that, and she's like, what, I've never done this before. And then all of this because she doesn't want him going after the sister, and she's basically afraid of being left alone again, and there's emotional trauma issues here. Now, he tries to tell her, try to help her out, make her feel better. And during this whole emotional outburst, she says something about breaking apart, or I wish it would all just go away. And then the giant cat laughs, and then uses his magic, or her magic, I don't even know if it has a gender, and then the house splits wide open in the rain, and then he's holding her because, you know, debris was falling, so he kind of threw himself on top to protect her. And that's pretty much how the episode ends. Just way in the air, now he can't even live in the guest house, in the storage house. Now, pretty much next episode, he has to move into the main house. So we see where this is going. And that was the episode. So what I think of the episode, I'm probably gonna give this one a 3.5 out of 5. It was very funny, and it was a little shocking with the house breaking at the end. I like these little cliffhangers for the next episode. So that being, and we're getting more out of her character, so we're seeing some character development, and I like that. And we're getting a little more competition between the 3 women in his life so far. So having said all that, click it up if you like it, comment if you must, and please subscribe if you can. And this is alertwolf signing out.